Hey there, welcome back to my channel. My name is Denise, and today I just want to talk about some things that I have recently quit in order to simplify my life. Okay, so number one, which I think is one of the most impactful things that I have recently done, which is I stopped scrolling on social media. And just in general, I've stopped using social media. I've never really posted on there in a long time. I was just spending so much time endlessly scrolling, and it just felt like I was kind of wasting away my life on there. You know, when I would say like, oh, I don't have enough time to do any of my hobbies or interests, or there's not enough time in the day to do the things I need to do, such as cooking and cleaning, chores, things like that. And it just felt very overwhelming, especially just working a regular 9-to-5 job and then coming home and feeling like there wasn't enough time. And again, it's probably just another like coping mechanism and a way to just unwind at the end of a long day. However, I want to say it's very unproductive, but at the same time, like, I know we don't always have to be productive 24/7. However, it was just like taking up so much of my mental energy and mental space, where I could be using that time and energy to other interests and hobbies that I wasn't even allowing myself to explore. And I think that just has made such a big difference. I now have time to read a lot more, which I have recently discovered my love for. I used to read all the time as a kid, and as I got older, I just completely stopped, and I think it kind of got replaced by just scrolling on my phone, which sounds very sad. And it's kind of a little bit embarrassing to admit that. I think I really was addicted to social media. And not just social media, but just scrolling on my phone. Like sometimes I would say like, oh, I'm not gonna go on Instagram today, or Instagram and Pinterest I think are the main ones that I would go on. I don't have TikTok. I do have TikTok, I just never use it. But anyways, I think what was really like weird and a little embarrassing to say, and also just a wake-up call, is I would find myself scrolling through like my photos, which is weird. I don't know if anyone else has caught themselves doing this. I don't know if it was like, oh, I don't want to scroll on Instagram today, so I'm just gonna scroll through my photos. And sometimes I would find myself like on my phone just like scrolling through different apps and just like not knowing why I was doing it or not knowing what I was even looking for. It was just such a habit to just be on my phone and tapping and scrolling things. I don't know, it's so weird. I have since then stopped completely. I'll still go on there every once in a while, but yeah, I don't spend more than just a couple minutes checking something, and I just try to be very intentional about when I do go on my phone, even if it's for something completely unrelated to social media. Just taking that break has made such a huge difference, and I don't feel the need that I have to be like reaching for my phone all the time. And sometimes I just completely leave my phone in a completely different room if I'm doing something. And yeah, it's just had such a positive impact on my mental health. It's given me time and energy to focus on other things. And yeah, I've just been really enjoying not feeling like I'm a slave to my phone. And I could just go on and on and on about the benefits of quitting social media, but maybe I will just do a completely different video on that. But let's move on to the next point. I quit side hustles that were no longer working for me or serving me. Specifically, how do I start? I have very many interests and very different, several side hustles that I've kind of gotten into or tried out, including reselling and blogging, like website online blogging. I think it got to a point where I was just no longer enjoying it. I really wanted it to be more of a hobby, and also of course there are the benefits of bringing in that extra income. However, right now I do have a 9-to-5 job. My goal isn't to completely get rid of my 9-to-5 job. I just wanted like a creative outlet and something else to kind of focus on. And yeah, I mean, bringing in the extra cash is nice, of course. And I specifically want to touch on the reselling side hustle. I've just found that, at least the way I was doing it for the last couple years, which was selling through Instagram, to have like one of those thrifting reselling Instagram pages, which was successful for a few years and then kind of fizzled out. And I think I was just putting a lot of energy into it and it just was no longer working. I was either breaking even or even losing out on money. And I think I was just using it as an excuse for my love of thrifting. And yeah, I mean, I was just ending up with piles of clothes that were not selling. And yeah, it was just getting me kind of down, and I was putting a lot of time and energy and effort for very little to no profit. And it was kind of hard and sad to say goodbye, because I felt like that Instagram page was my little baby. And yeah, I mean, I stopped doing that, I think almost a year ago, maybe like 9 months or so. Yeah, it was just no longer serving me or working for me. And I was no longer enjoying it, to be honest. I still enjoy thrifting, just on my own time for fun. Yeah, it just feels so much better that way. Like, not every hobby or interest has to be like a side hustle for a profit. And while that is very specific to me, I think it also can apply to other people, because I think there's a lot of people today that just because a lot of hobbies can be profitable, it can turn into that feeling of you don't feel like there's any value in it if there's no profit. And I've heard other people talk about this, so I know it's not just me. So I'm just here to say it's okay to let go of that, and it's okay to enjoy things just for the fun of it. Like, it does not have to be a profit. Okay, moving on to the third thing I quit in order to simplify my life, and I think this one is a bit more practical. The third thing I quit is doing a full face of makeup, and I've quit this a while ago, let's be honest, but I have found the most simple, practical makeup routine that works for me, and it takes like 5 minutes. I basically just use concealer, a little bit of powder, a little bit of bronzer, a little bit of eyebrow pencil, and mascara. So I no longer do like foundation. I no longer use blush, mainly because it's so hard to find the right color. I just can't justify just spending a bunch of money trying new products and going through that trial and error to see what works for me. I also have very sensitive skin. I have very like fungal acne prone skin. It can cause me to break out, and I just don't, it's like a long list of ingredients, and yeah, it's just a lot of time and energy, and just this 5-minute makeup routine works for me, and my skin has actually never looked better. So not only does it save time, it also saves me a ton of money. And the fourth thing that I have simplified is my workout routine. So right before the pandemic, I actually used to be very into working out, very into weightlifting. I was eating a completely different diet as well, which is a completely different story. But anyways, I was very much a gym girl, and I was a lot stronger as well, let's be honest. But honestly, my body was also in a lot of pain, and I'm still in the process of figuring that out. I think a lot of it had to do with just putting all that stress on my body and not giving it enough time to rest. And right now, what's working for me is just going on long walks, whether it's at the park or the gym, and just light weightlifting, just enough to keep my muscles where they're at. I'm not like trying to grow or to, I mean, it would be nice, but honestly, right now I just feel like that would not work for me, and I would not feel motivated to even work out at all. So just finding ways that I enjoy to move my body, which includes walking, occasional jogging, occasional lightweight lifting, and then when it's nice outside, my husband and I like to just go play some tennis. Just simple things like that keep me active, keep my body moving, and honestly, I feel good, I feel healthy, and I think that's all that matters. And another thing that I have quit is trying to make and cook these complex meals for dinner every single day. I have like 3 to 4 recipes that I rotate through the week, and they're just like staples that both my husband and I enjoy and that won't mess with our stomach. Cooking some rice in the rice cooker with some chicken and veggies, just keeping it really simple, making sure that we're eating balanced, nutritious meals. I feel like I'm losing my voice because my job requires me to like be constantly talking to people on the phone, and at the end of the week I feel like my voice is just completely gone. But anyway, getting into the 6th thing that I have quit, which is browsing sales. I no longer browse sales constantly. just to see what's out there or just to see what I could possibly get a good deal on. I'm just trying to be very, very intentional of all my purchases, including and especially clothing, just because I do have, or I used to have, kind of a clothing shopping addiction. And again, probably just another coping mechanism that was hurting me more than helping me, and completely unnecessary. But even today, I mean, I love clothes. I love feeling good in what I'm wearing, but I've very much learned to just appreciate what I have and just like feel good with the clothes I have. If I need something, I'll replace it in my wardrobe, but I'm not just like browsing sales to see what new trend or what new item I could add to my closet just because it was on sale and it's cute. If I don't need it, if I don't love it, if I don't think it would add value or I would get enough wear in it, then I'm not gonna buy it. And just to add onto that, like if I do have an item that I really want and I think I would get a lot of wear of and I would like to add to my closet and it's not on sale, I will be paying full price for that item just because I see the value in that. And then this one kind of ties into number 7. I have stopped exclusively shopping secondhand. A year or two ago, I was very much into having a fully thrifted wardrobe, which I still think is amazing. However, now that I'm working 9 to 5, I don't have all this time and energy to be thrifting all the time. And honestly, like, yeah, I could find things on Poshmark, I could find things on eBay, but the return process, like if that item doesn't work out, I mean, it can be very tedious. I don't think Poshmark really lets you return items unless it's flawed or there was like an error in the description. Same with eBay, depending on the seller. It's just a lot easier to just buy some things new. And honestly, like if it's an item that I'm gonna have for a very long time, which honestly, I do keep my clothes for a very, very long time, like 3+ years, then yeah, I mean, I have no problem buying things brand new. But I still love thrifting. I still try to get it secondhand first, and then if I can't find it, then I'm not too worried about it. I'll just buy it new. Okay, and the next thing that I have given up in order to simplify my life is staying up late. This has made such a tremendous difference. Like, who would have thought? But yeah, I mean, my husband and I did have a tendency of staying up very late, and the next morning, obviously, we would be groggy and tired and not feeling very motivated for the day. And I think recently we've kind of become a little bit more disciplined, and it was kind of hard at first just because you are trying to break some bad habits there, which isn't easy at first. But I think now we've just gotten into the habit of you know, starting to get ready for bed around 9:30 p.m., being in bed by 10 p.m. And yeah, that plus quitting social media has improved my sleep like tremendously. Like, as someone who has struggled with insomnia, it's easier said than done, obviously, because I feel like I said, some habits are just hard to break, but it is completely worth it, and it is truly a game changer. And then the last thing that I have quit, which this one is a little more recent, is like complicated hair routines. And I think this goes into just like maybe 6 months ago, I got really into like the blowouts, which are very, very trendy right now. You know, everywhere on Instagram, you see all these girls using all these fancy hair tools and like the rollers and all this stuff. And I have very like fine straight hair, and I mean, it's just a lot of work. I also have, I think it's called low porosity hair, which is where your hair just retains a lot of moisture, which can be a good thing because I think it means my hair is like really healthy. But it's just a pain to blow dry. Like, I would wait an hour and a half, like just like letting it air dry a little bit, and then also just using like a microfiber towel and then just like rolling it with a dryer. It's just a lot of work. And for me, just like blow drying it with my hands, what's that called? Finger drying? There's a word for that. I don't know if that's correct, but that just works for me. It's always worked for me. I don't know why I was trying to make it more complicated. I mean, I bought this round brush, and I bought those rollers from Amazon and all these different hair tools, and I don't use them anymore because it takes too much time and it's very stressful. I would get so hot, my shoulders would hurt. Yeah, and then the result was not even that much of a difference, let's be honest. And obviously there's all these different blow dry brushes that I could have purchased, but I decided not to just because I didn't think it was going to be worth it, and I didn't want to spend my money on that. Like, I think my hair looks fine just the way it is. But yeah, those are just a few things that I have recently quit, just in order to get back to the basics, simplify my life, not feel overwhelmed by daily tasks in life. Because yeah, working a 9 to 5 or finding that work-life balance is challenging and it is tough. But I think these are just some things that could possibly help you as well. Just some things to keep in mind. Maybe this can inspire you, give you some ideas. This is just what's working for me right now. And it's really just allowed me to feel more free to enjoy my free time outside of work and not being too preoccupied with things that don't actually matter to me. Alright, well, I think that is it for this video. Hopefully I can continue making videos. This is something that I just really enjoy. It's just very relaxing, enjoyable for me, and yeah, I mean, maybe I'll make an update or another video about how my life has been since quitting social media and just some more of those benefits that I have been experiencing, but yeah, we'll see. But enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.